And we're live. Hello and welcome to the stream. I am the useless cook, but you could call me useless. Today we're going to be making smothered burritos or wet burritos, is however you want to call them. And today joining me right now is Harry from the Harry channel.
Hello.
Yeah.
I'm just going to ask dumb questions about your cooking.
That's not a dumb question, right?
So is there any way you can make your window fill the whole screen?
Yeah. I'm going to do that right now.
Cool.
There we go. Hello.
Get ready.
I'm live right now. Guys are walking by. And I'm just checking the temp of the oil. Maybe we can some chips along with the burritos. So. Alright. Let's get in there. Let's adjust the camera a bit. First thing I want to do is get the tomato puree right here. All it is a can of diced tomatoes, green chilies, and a can of salsa style diced tomatoes. You know, it has everything in it. What I'm going to do is take the seasoning to add to it. Some dried peppers. I'm going to add that in there. And some cumin seeds, oregano, and basil. I'm going to add that just to, light up the flavor a bit. I'm just going to puree it with my little motion blender. Do it slow at first.
So do you?
Yeah.
So do you use Mexican oregano explicitly, or do you just use any old oregano?
I'll just use whatever I have on hand.
Okay. I haven't really noticed much difference between Mexican and Turkish.
No, it's not. It's just a price difference, that's all. You just want to puree it till it's, mostly smooth. Smooth. It's like a sauce. Take it out of that. Turn on the hot plate. And add it to that. Get this out of the way. You just want to get this up to a simmer. So it's nice and hot. I'm going to just a bit. Some water. Not a whole lot. You can use chicken broth or vegetable broth if you want, but just a quick and simple red sauce. Of course, you can add the seasoning and spices how you like it, because not everybody likes really spicy food. Especially my roommates.
Let me ask you a question. So this is going to smother a burrito, right?
Yeah.
So what's in the burrito?
It's going to be just a beef and bean burrito.
So like shredded beef with sauce, or just steak?
It's just going to be about ground beef.
Oh, okay. Because I was trying to think, what this sauce is going to go with, so I could figure out, what it would taste like over the top of the burrito.
Yeah. Well, we got to simmer when making chips too. Got my tortillas already cut.
Yeah, you're a good man. Making chips from scratch. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, I already have a video on my channel showing you how to make them. So,
as a variation, instead of making chips, you could just deep fry the burrito before you put the sauce on. Basically, make like a chimichanga.
You do that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that way you get that golden brown, delicious frying in there.
Yeah, I don't buy tortilla chips. I just make them.
Sorry, I didn't see which kind of tortillas. Were those flour tortillas?
They're corn.
Corn, okay.
These are white corn tortillas.
Got it.
I usually go for the other corn, but I think at this time.
No, that's cool.
Got to multitask now.
What temperature is your oil? I mean, you're probably doing it from sight. It looks like you do that a lot.
Yeah, it usually gets to 250, 275 around there.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to get 275 on a hot plate. It doesn't stay because the way they work. They turn on and turn off, turn on and turn off. So it doesn't keep temp very well. Yeah. I'm going to change the oil pretty soon too, looks like.
Do you pour it through a funnel with like a coffee filter in between uses, or do you just yeah. You can stretch it out a pretty long way that way.
Yeah. Plus the cast iron, kind of hides the discoloration of it too.
Well, that pan looks well used and well loved.
Yeah.
And that's not a
Used
bad
for
thing when
a
you're
lot of
talking
things.
cast iron.
Oh, I can't see chat. Oh. Hello, Okie Native and Prospero. How you doing?
Do you want me to kind of keep an eye on chat while you cook?
Sure.
I'll let you know if I see something that kind of needs your attention.
You can also check out my StreamYards down in the description too. I'm not StreamYards, Streamlabs. I'm keeping those mixed up for a while. Can you see the? Yeah, that's good enough. I think so. There we go. I don't want to overload it because they won't cook right. So.
No, even with a cast iron pan, you want to take your time.
Yeah.
Besides, that sauce is, speaking of taking its time, it's taking its time getting to a boil.
Yeah. Then I'm trying to. So I had to cook it all ready to go for a while.
I was about to ask you the world's dumbest question. Looking at that Pyrex pot on that hot plate, I was going to ask you if that was an induction hot plate, and then it's like, well, obviously it's not an induction hot plate.
Yeah.
Because that would not work. Did you salt those chips while I was looking away, or?
No, I usually salt them afterwards.
Well, because if you want to salt them, I would say use fine salt, and you want to salt them like almost immediately when you take them out, because otherwise the salt's not going to stick very well. Anytime you're making potato chips or corn chips, if you're going to salt them, the salt's got to go in. You gotta salt them like within the first 5-10 seconds after they come out, or the salt's not going to stick very well.
Yeah, I usually put all salt in my chips though. So.
Yeah.
I usually do it after the fact because after each of my roommates say that you can't have a lot of salt, so you have to be careful. I make my food. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah. Well, that's why a little bit of salt on the outside, right on the top where your taste buds can hit it, is way better than just having salt soaking through everything.
Yeah. Oh, when there's a cryptic in chat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Looks like notifications didn't go out. Oh, can you go back over what went in the red sauce again? Okie Native is asking.
Oh, it was a can of diced tomatoes with green chilies and a can of fire roasted. There. That. Now I just pureed it with some red peppers, the dried red peppers, cumin seeds, some basil, and oregano. You want to do that to taste, just to spice up the canned tomatoes. It's a very simple sauce.
And it's going to be a pretty mild sauce too.
Yeah, I don't use that many peppers.
Are you going to add peppers later?
No, I'm gonna have to season into the burritos. That's about it.
Ah, okay. Because if you had a can of like chipotle peppers, I wouldn't put the chipotle in, but if you could like siphon off like a half teaspoon of the sauce, the adobo sauce that comes with the canned chipotles,
Yeah.
that would be an easy way to add some heat to that, or just even a little hot sauce if you have one that you like.
Yeah.
Like
Like I said, I gotta watch
pepper
the
plant
burgers.
or tapatio. A couple dashes of tapatio if you want it hotter, I guess.
Yeah.
You can get tapatio anywhere and it's super cheap.
Yeah. May have some too.
I don't know,
Both
man. I
rice
should have
already.
eaten more before watching you cook. I actually haven't had breakfast yet.
Oh, really?
Mm-mm.
Wake up late?
No, I just often wake up late, so I'm just sort of not used to even having
Ah.
breakfast.
Gotcha. I usually don't sleep, so waking up is not an issue for me.
Well, hopefully I won't get blown to Oz because it's windy as hell here right now. I'm looking out the window going, okay.
Yeah.
Prospero, is Valentina
Doesn't
a
take-
hot sauce? Because she's saying Valentina is good too.
Oh, yeah.
Is
Never
that a
seen
hot
that brand.
sauce?
Might be. There's tons of brands of hot sauce. I think somebody in chat collects them, he said.
Yeah.
At one point.
Oh, Prospero was asking about cumin.
Yeah, I put cumin seeds in the tomato sauce. And I
Yeah,
blended it
okay. Yeah. Well, since a lot of people didn't get notifications, they're playing catch up.
up. Yeah. Heat a bit. Just want to cook the tomatoes a bit more so the flavor blends. Yeah. Being from South Texas, I cook a lot of, Hispanic food. Or what they call Tex-Mex,
Well, you probably ate a bunch of it as a kid, and you
Yeah.
go out and you eat something and you get inspired, and then
Yeah.
you go home and sometimes the inspiration influences your own cooking.
Yeah. Oh.
We need to get you one of those like 50,000 BTU gas burners that
Yeah.
you can put your cast iron on. You
I
can
know, I'm a big
you can
fan of
fry a
weird
turkey
doing
with those things. It's amazing.
Well, I gotta be careful because I'm in a shed right now, so
Yeah. No, I
don't wanna
get
burn
it.
Yeah. I want to get my setup in my kitchen so I can start doing it in there. So I have better, equipment. I can keep asking my camera back and forth from one surface to another surface. It's not hot enough anymore.
Okay. I'm going to step away for like 20 seconds. I want to go
All right.
grab a bottle of hot sauce. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, and thank you, Shredder Angel, for the donation on Streamlabs. Yeah, appreciate it. And buy some more food. Let's see. I don't want to put a cat in my burrito with cryptic. Regular and hot version. Battle Royale between Tex-Mex and New Mexican. Yeah, I'm sure that's fun. Alright, turn on the kitty bench to the center.
Yeah. No luck. I was there's a hot sauce that I found that's actually the best cheap hot sauce. I've bought it for as little as 49 cents a bottle.
Oh, yeah?
and
Not bad.
and I think the most I've ever paid for it was $1.29 a bottle. It's pretty amazing. But unfortunately, I
I've been
can't
planning on
find it.
doing that. No, that's too bad. So I was thinking about doing a video on how to make your own hot sauce. That'd be a good thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Never done that before. Yeah, oil's getting kind of cold.
Well, I can give you some references if you're curious, and then you can look at it and make it your own.
I should try to do it. So I got you the temp. Yeah.
Because it seems like that batch is taking a lot longer than the first batch.
Yeah, it cooled way down. That's like 100 degrees. And this first
Oof.
batch is sheesh.
That's a lot for cast iron.
Yeah. Not even close. Yeah, it's still a hot plate. It doesn't stay on. Yeah. It's a problem with electric stuff. Same with electric stoves aren't so good because they turn on, turn off, turn on, and turn off. So I want to use gas stoves.
Well, you're hooked into that power strip, which means that there's around 1,600
Yeah,
watts is all the power going to those two burners.
Yeah.
And so
Not much choice in that matter either. Alright.
well, what was it Donald Rumsfeld said? We go to war with the army we have, not the army we wish we had.
Yeah. Probably not. Let that sit for a bit and come back to it. Nope. Yeah. I wish I had better equipment. That costs money.
Understood.
I'm probably. It's enough chips for now. If it gets the point, I like chips, right? Yeah, these aren't. They're all greasy too. They're not hot enough. Turn that off. Let's focus on the sauce real quick.
So what's your position on tasting? Do you taste it near the end and then adjust the seasoning, or how often do you check on your stuff?
I usually do it to the end. Because I usually have everything I want down. I know how I want it already. So. I had a bit of cornstarch. Make it thicker. You don't have too much or it gets too thick, so. I want to do when it gets hot, so it expands. Simmer. Oh, I'm gonna give up on the chips. We gotta go first.
You can always make more chips later.
Yeah. I kind of figured that was going to happen. The hot plate.
So are you channeling your inner Mexican grandma right now? Get up at 3 a.m. and start making sauce?
Yeah.
Okie Native is asking what kind of burrito. It's going to be a beef burrito.
Yeah, just like ground beef and some refried beans. You know, not too fancy.
Like a much, much better version of Taco Bell.
Yeah. Well, they get pretty, decent burritos. You could do a nice chili burrito. You know?
Yeah. So that sort of mixed stuff that you put in earlier, the tomatoes and peppers, were there any onions in there?
Beef, so yes.
Okay.
Jalapenos and everything.
Because I'm sitting here thinking if I was doing this, the main difference I'd see it is I'd be a lot more garlic and onion in mine.
Yeah.
But I actually sometimes put way too much in, so I'm not sure don't have a better idea than I do.
Just put the onions. Chips out of the way. Oh, thank you, Pascal, for the grocery money on the StreamYards and Streamlabs. Oh, it's so confusing.
Well, there it is.
Yeah. Not hot enough yet.
I have a butane stove that is really, really nice. And you can get the butane stoves for not very much money, and the canisters are cheap if you go to that restaurant supply house that I keep nagging you to go to. You can get a hell of a lot of heat out of those little butane stoves, and it might actually be a good thing for next time.
I do have a camping stove and a camping oven.
Well, that might work. A lot of the camp stuff doesn't really hit the same kind of temperatures as the thing I'm talking about. I paid more for mine than I should because I don't like buying stuff from China. So I bought one from Japan and it cost me like 4 times more. But seriously, on Amazon, you can get a pretty decent one for like $20-$25.
Yeah. Well, Japan does make good stuff, though. So. They put a lot of detail work into their amount of care. I saw this guy on YouTube. He took part out $5 toaster apart.
Well, I mean, just as part of your disaster kit, you never know when the power is going to go out. Could be an earthquake, could be an ice storm, could be anything. And I just kind of laugh maniacally when the power goes out because I'll just be boiling water to make tea or making an omelet or whatever.
Yeah.
Those little stoves are fantastic. Mexican grandmas are great.
Yeah. That's my step grandma, but still the same difference.
Yeah.
Since I was a kid, anyway, so. Yeah. It's kind of hard to talk at the same time. Sorry.
Yeah. Cryptic has 3 butane stoves.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I just have one really good one. I figure if the power goes out, I'm not going to try to do anything too fancy.
Yeah.
Well, they seem like they would be really expensive because the fuel costs a lot of money until you stop being a chump and go to the restaurant supply place and buy like 12 cans at a time. And then they're like $1.25.
Oh, and thank you, Cryptic, for the donation over on the Streamlabs. Yeah. System for my favorite Mexican grandma. You know, that's me.
So I didn't see. Did you add oil to those onions, or you just
No,
you're just sweating them in the nonstick? Okay.
Just sweating them.
But I think you did put a pinch of salt on them, right?
No.
No. Okay.
Like I said, I gotta be.
Understood. I don't have to worry about my sodium levels, so I usually put salt on mine to draw some of the water out. It makes them, it keeps them from browning when I just want to smoke them. But you're just moving them around all the time. That works.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. If it was just me, I put a lot of salt in my food.
Okie Native, you are not wrong. Turkey fryer is the best portable wok for cheap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they have these enormous burners. I can't even remember how many BTU they are, but they're designed to, boil like a huge pot of oil. I think it's like 50,000 BTU.
Yeah.
It's some insane amount of heat that it puts out. But you kind of have to connect that to like an RV sized propane container.
Propane tank
or LPG. Yeah.
Yeah. My dad used to fry a turkey every Thanksgiving. Oh. Down here. You know, I wear a hat and still get hair in my food. You know? I'm gonna add some tomatoes. And some minced garlic. Now it's pickled minced garlic because I don't want it to go bad. So I usually buy like a big bag of garlic and I just set mine to the oven and put it in a jar with some white vinegar and pickled it.
Yeah, the one thing you want to be careful about is trying to preserve garlic and oil. You can get botulism poisoning pretty badly from that if you don't know what you're doing. It's not something a home chef should be messing around with, honestly. So like that idea, I'm just going to take this jar of olive oil and throw some garlic cloves in. Yeah, don't do that.
Just I sip the vinegar.
Yeah, the vinegar is fine. Botulism can't thrive in the acid environment.
Yeah. Heat back up.
So Okie Native is saying you can run the turkey fryer thing on a smaller tank. Oh, good to know.
Oh, yeah?
I know there's an adapter. I just thought that as a practical matter, emptying that bottle every 30 minutes would be tough.
Yeah.
But what do I know? I don't have one.
You should. Fry a turkey one of these days.
I think actually, well, turkey's a different conversation. If I was going to make a turkey, I think it was Julia Child once. She basically spatchcocked a turkey.
Okay.
And after you spatchcock it, you've got a whole bunch of options. One of which is if you've got like a Weber kettle, like smoker thing, you can basically just baste and smoke and cook it up. It's just fantastic. Spatchcocking a turkey is the best way to do it, in my opinion. You don't even need to fry it.
I never did that with the turkey before.
There's a bit of work. If you have a butcher, it's a thing where, if you're getting a turkey from them, you could get them to do it for you maybe. But if you've got some good poultry shears and a decent knife, you can spatchcock any bird.
Yeah. Oh. I made a turkey next Thanksgiving, but I couldn't upload the videos because my roommates ate it before I took the pictures of it. So I was kind of disappointed in that day.
Well, I try to cook as much stuff as I can, but I got myself, but I got some smoked turkey from Croy's Market in Texas, and it was probably some of the best turkey I've ever eaten. And considering that it had been vacuum sealed and shipped to me in a box with a bunch of dry ice, that's pretty impressive. A really good smoked turkey is amazing.
I'm gonna try it one of these days.
If somebody's gonna fry a bird, just make me some damn fried chicken.
I mean, I do have, pan fried chicken video on my channel. Check that out. Chicken nuggets. And I didn't find out you can make use Bisquick to make, for the batter for the chicken nuggets, and it comes out pretty good still.
Sure.
There's all this flour shortage. It's all we had. So, it's like, oh, fine, I'll try this, see how it comes out. It came out pretty good.
So we've got the sauce, and now we got tomatoes and onions.
Yeah. And overcook these probably. I'll put the meat in there pretty soon.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
That's how I like it though. So
did you already brown the meat and then going to throw it in, or are we going from zero here?
We're going from like 0.
Okay.
You try to do it though. So you can kind of everything stewed. It's only a pound of ground beef. So. This way all the tomatoes and onions break down nice and what time the meat's all cooked, Just wish it stayed hot. Oh.
Well, you're in earthquake country. You should get a butane stove regardless of whether you use it for the show.
Turkey wings? Never had turkey wings.
Ooh, that would be good.
Yeah. I'm not a big chicken wing fan because I don't like chicken skin.
Honestly, unless I mean, for chicken wings, the actual chicken wings, not drumsticks or anything else, I usually just set them aside when I'm getting the chicken ready to cook, to roast, and then just put them in the bag with stuff I'm going to turn into stock later.
Yeah.
Because, if you roast them, the tips just burn anyway, and it's not a lot of meat on the tip of a chicken wing.
Yeah. I usually prefer boneless, but I know those aren't wings.
But turkey wings, you've got a little bit of extra skin and meat to work with.
Yeah. Hotter. Oh. Sorry. This table's kind of low for standing over it.
Understood.
I get a better setup for these live streams. Because they are fun, hanging out with people and having people yell at me in chat.
Sure.
I'm doing it wrong.
Well, I have some suggestions on how I would do it differently. I don't know if it's right or wrong. It's just different.
Oh yeah, I know. You can voice them. I don't mind.
Well, of course, I've been cooking for way longer than you. So
Yeah, there's that too.
see, the key difference between what you're doing and what I would do is I would have browned the meat first, and then I would have left the fat, the rendered fat in the pan, right? And then I would have done the onions and the tomatoes and stuff there, because the liquid from the tomatoes is keeping you from getting golden brown deliciousness on your beef. So you're not getting that. I don't mean to go full sanguine Magavan on you, but you're not getting the Maillard reaction. But with all the flavor that you're adding, I mean, it's still going to be fine. But like I said, I would brown the meat, pull it out, leave this fat in the pan, then do the onions, then do the tomatoes. Sweat the onions, then add the tomatoes, reduce that down, put the meat back in. But that's only because I like my meat a little more browned.
I get you.
Yeah.
I could have done that way too. I kind of forget about how much water tomatoes lose.
Yeah, especially canned tomatoes.
Sometimes it's kind of stewed all together.
Yep.
Trying to stew it all together.
Well, also, with some of these recipes, when you've got that, adding in, if it's just tomatoes, not tomatoes with peppers and stuff, sometimes using half of the tomato and then putting a little tomato paste in works. That way you get the tomato flavor without it's quite so much liquid.
Yeah. One in my chili seasoning, taco seasoning. All it is paprika, cayenne, turmeric, and more cumin. It's my own little blend.
Cool. You put turmeric in your taco stuff.
Yeah.
No, that would be good.
Oh yeah. That's what I use for my multi-spicy food.
Well, turmeric gives it that kind of musty, earthy taste. Yeah. I don't think it's a traditional ingredient in Mexican food, but I could be wrong.
No, it's not.
It's usually just in Asian food. That doesn't mean you can't. Hey, you could put soy sauce in this right now, and I wouldn't think less of you.
This is going to help thicken it up too.
Well, the beans will thicken it up. Are you going to heat the beans up, or are those in a separate bowl?
They'll be separate. It's just kind of refried.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's this simple taco. Burritos. The simple red sauce.
Do you keep masa flour in your house?
No. Never used it before.
Now, masa is really good because kind of like with a roux with regular flour, you can toast the masa, kind of make a bit of a roux out of it, and then use that to thicken the Mexican stuff. So then you get thickening plus flavor. You get that kind of corn chip flavor, so it works well with all the other stuff you're doing.
I'll add a bit more.
So Okie Native saying paste and crushed tomatoes by themselves give you better depth of flavor and consistency. The fresh canned and diced give you fresher flavor. It just depends on usage and personal taste. Yeah. That's fair.
Part of my thing is making cooking look easy too. So
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with your ingredients. Like I said, I was only suggesting you change the order in which you do things slightly.
No, that's fair enough. I understand.
And we need to get you a hotter hot plate.
Yeah. This is a cheap one too, like $30 at Walmart.
Well, you know that phrase, was it cooking with gas? That's what we
Yeah.
need to get you. We need to get you cooking with gas. Yeah, because masa flour would take that excess moisture up, no problem.
Yeah. I guess add a bit more cornstarch too if I want. Got nice cornstarch.
Well, thing is, cornstarch doesn't add any flavor.
Yeah.
Do you ever? Did you add any black pepper?
No.
Okay, do you not like black pepper?
I just gotta be careful with it too.
Understood.
I'll let it simmer a bit longer.
Yeah.
Away. I should get thick enough as it simmers, you know. Like a nice gravy.
One great thing about masa is it's incredibly cheap. You can get a huge bag of masa for not very much money. And if you're ever really motivated, you can make corn tortillas from scratch with it very easily.
If I want to try that, make some my own tortillas.
Yeah. I mean, the store-bought ones are super cheap and super convenient and super easy. So I'm not sure there's much of an advantage, but I do like to sometimes, instead of putting corn chips and things, I'll just fry up some masa flour like you're making a roux and then get it so that it's got basically as little crumbles of golden brown, delicious corn, and then put that into like my chicken tortilla soup. I'll put a few tortillas for to make it look nice, but that's the bulk of the crispy corn taste is from the masa, not from tortillas. Because why make tortillas, then fry them, and then put them in soup and have them get all soggy? Just skip all those intermediate steps where you're flattening and doing stuff, and just fry the masa flour directly.
That's my part is, making the tortillas shape.
Have you ever tried making chili verde?
I've got the beans in it right now too. Took off the sauce.
Cool. Have you ever tried chili verde? No. Because that's basically this with pork, but just where everything's red here, make it green. Substitute green chilies, tomatillos, or you could do that Southwest thing that people were talking about.
Yeah. Crypto was telling he prefers the green over the red. Have you seen this Colorado chili? Oh.
Yeah. We can make the New Mexico stuff is really good, but not most places you can get the Hatch green chilies in a can. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's one of those ingredients that's more expensive than it should be because they charge you extra for the name.
Yeah. I want to try to grow more of my own chilies and whatnot.
I've got some in the backyard.
I grow my own herbs every now and then. I did that a few times. When I was living in Texas, we used to have a wild bell pepper plant that kept sprouting up in our yard.
Oh, you poor guy. I mean, because a lot of people just get weeds. You got free bell peppers.
Yeah. Well. Or doing that, tropical climate on the coast. Yeah, it's nice and thick now. It's usually right by the lean meat because you don't get all that fat. You don't have to drain it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to drain all the fat because you use all the flavor.
Oh no, that's why I cook the onions in it, just to soak up the all the goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, see, the chat is saying what Colorado, also called Colorado chili, because we were talking about. Let's see, I'm not sure which thing are you saying is Colorado chili.
Yeah, the green chili.
Chili Colorado
The
is
green,
usually red.
Chili verde. The green stuff.
Chili verde is green, and chili
is it?
Colorado is usually red, as far as I know. Usually red with like pinto beans.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing a quick search, and yeah, chili Colorado is red. Except for here's one example from the cooking channel. Oh, so they're calling it Colorado green chili. Yeah, just about every place I've ever seen calls it chili verde. But sure, we could call it Colorado green chili.
Oh.
Well, because normally if you walk into a place and say, I want chili Colorado, you're going to get a bowl of red chili.
Yeah. The pork version?
Yeah, chili verde with the green chili and the pork is wonderful. Also, for the liquid, a lot of people will use like a Mexican lager beer type of thing. So the beer really works really well with pork chili. Your mileage may vary, but I like beer in my pork chili.
I mean, for my new homemade chili, I usually do some beef jerky.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it melts. It just falls apart. You hydrate it and it falls apart in your mouth. It's great. I do that over a bed of rice. Because that was my favorite meal in the mess hall down when I was in the army.
Mm-hmm.
Was the chili and rice. Just very simple but very tasty.
Yeah, Cryptic, you're right. The slow cooker is your friend.
Yeah.
Well, one thing you can do with like the beef chili is as a cheat. I like to keep little packets of beef demi-glaze around. You can get them off of Amazon instead of having like a whole big jar of it. And you can add more beefiness to something by just putting in a few drops of that or a teaspoon of it, and suddenly what you would normally need hours of cooking to pull off, you can pull off pretty quickly. I can tell you what your biggest mistake is as a cook, though. Your biggest mistake is that you don't have somebody else to clean up all the pots and pans for you. That's the number one thing you need when you're a cook, is somebody else to clean up, or at least help.
Well, I found a trick if you do it when it's still hot, it's pretty easy to clean.
Oh yeah.
Wait till everything cools down and it takes forever to clean. If it's hot, and get done with.
That's looking like it's tightening up pretty well.
Yeah. Just trying to heat up the refried beans real quick.
Yeah, there aren't a whole lot of things that the microwave is good for, but heating up refried beans is probably one of them.
Yeah. Very long as I heat it up. You should always heat your tortillas on the stove, not in the oven. My stepmom has this. I was growing up. She has a cast iron flat for heating up her tortillas.
Yeah, I think what you
She
want
has
is
a rock
called
and
a
rock, so it gets nice,
comal.
bits on the tortillas, how you want it.
A comal is the traditional thing to do that on. Plus, if you're going to make this from scratch, you'd be charring your tomatoes or your tomatillos or your peppers and onions on the comal before you put them in the blender.
Yeah.
But you can totally toast tortillas on a nonstick flat pan.
Yeah. It's all you have.
Well, the comal is kind of a unitasker. So if you have limited room in your kitchen, it's not something you necessarily want to get. Because you can totally use a cast iron skillet if you have one in a pinch.
Yeah. Cast iron, everything comes pretty handy.
So how many people are you feeding with this recipe?
4.
Okay.
I have, there's 5 of us all together, but one roommate doesn't eat anything I make. Or eats his frozen pizza and mac and cheese. So.
Well, he's going to have a long life.
That's his choice.
It is a choice.
Yeah. Lost camera. Just back. Yes, I use my bare hands. It's up after a while. Is it frozen? You still there, Harry?
I'm still here. No, I don't think your camera's frozen. I saw some movement.
All right. It kind of.
Uh-oh. I'm sure he'll be right back.
Oh.
There we go.
Something happened.
Yeah, but your video suddenly got a lot better.
Roommates are using the internet.
Those bastards.
It happens. It's a problem when you share a household with other people. Oh. Almost done anyway, so shouldn't be too much longer. I need to clean my hot plate too, it looks like. This here. Oh, these tortillas aren't very good. They're all thin.
So where are we in the process now?
So how did the cherry jam turn out?
It was good, but I'm not the one who made it. I basically traded freshly made sourdough bread for freshly made jam. So that is a trade I'll take any day. I've got a neighbor who makes wine too. I give him bread, he gives me free wine. That's also a good trade. Okay, you appear to be buffering. Let's see. Is there any audio still? We may have lost him. You know, usually you have to have Canadian internet for things to go this this badly on the network realm. There we go.
All right, I'm back, I think.
You are.
Awesome. Well, that was exciting. One more. Oh. I don't know what happened with the internet there.
Maybe you should stop using Canadian internet. I hear that's really bad.
Maybe roommates using it at the same time, probably. Fly flying around. for all the tech issues.
I'm changing my avatar to something more appropriate. A 1970s Taco Bell ad.
Okay. I'm still buffering on my end over streams, so.
Well, just persevere. You're almost done.
Yeah, I'm using tortillas because these ones are kind of thin. Smothered. Oh. I got a fork.
You need a ladle, is what you need.
Yeah. Where's the cheese? Fail. There you go. Make yourself a simple smothered burrito right there. I hope
You could
everything's
add
working
sour
now.
cream. You could add sour cream or some chopped green onion on top just for color, but it's not
Yeah.
going to taste any better.
No. Sour cream will help it kill the heat if it's too hot for you.
It's not too
I
hot.
think it's not. Shouldn't have. I use what, 4 chilies. So.
No, this is pretty mild. I don't think this would be too hot. I think infants could probably handle this. They might think it's hot. This is just good food that you can eat. It's
Yeah.
quick. It's easy. It's not supposed to be a challenge.
Yeah, that's the whole point. You know. So everybody can do it. What's it been beeping at me for? Okay. Yeah. I wish I had a knife and fork to eat this right now, but I forgot to grab those from the kitchen.
Well, you've got other people to feed too.
Yeah. So I think since we're having some technical issues, it looks like stream's all breaking down. We should probably call it quits soon.
Yeah.
All right.
Put a fork in it. It might be done.
Right. Yeah.
I hope you appreciate the new avatar I put up for you.
Do you have it? Oh yeah, I just made it. You see yours too. Yeah.
I'm sure somebody would
Taco
find
Bell.
that deeply offensive, but anybody who does should keep in mind just how much I really like Mexican grandmothers and Mexican food and Mexican people in general.
Yeah.
I don't mean anything by it. I just think this 1970s Taco Bell ad is funny.
Yeah.
The hola part I added.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Are so? Is that it for your burrito?
That's it. That's how you want to build it. You can get decorate your way. Well, decorate it. Put whatever toppings you want it. It's up to you. I did the tortillas this time because it was their third tortillas. I'm not. I guess the brand's different than I normally get. You want to soak a bit of the sauce. Anyway, do you have anything you want to shill
Oh
or
no,
promote?
no, everything's fine. I don't really have anything planned at the moment. Just thanks for having me on.
Yeah, it was fun. I should have you
Hopefully
on
my questions. Hopefully
more
the
often.
questions were helpful and help the chat. I was just trying to keep an eye on that so you could keep cooking, and maybe next time we'll get
Yeah,
Pat on.
well, it's kind of. Yeah, it'd be nice. I'm sure he has, a busy weekend ahead of him.
He has other things going on. I know.
Yeah. Well, anyway, well, thank you for everybody who showed up and watched. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for all the donations. I appreciate it because I could use the money for buying ingredients. And thank you for that. And I'll see you all next time. Have fun, everyone.
Bye.